now that you had a little time to sit on it, how did you feel you handled the option run part of the offense?
We didn't do a whole lot of it, but I think, we did a good job getting out there on the edge. We can still press a little bit more and get the ball in the running back's hands, but for the most part, just taking what the defense gave us. It worked for us early on that pretty big pickup there. I think it was 14, 15 yards. So, continue to just get better in that, get better at pressing that read guy and getting it in the running back's hands.
Jeffrey Mead came out pretty early. Can you just talk about working with him, and do you feel like something special is developing between you two in practice?
Yeah, Jeff is a heck of an athlete with great hands, and since he's got here, he came in a little raw, but he's continued to progress and work his way into a guy that needs to get some playing time. Like you said, he came in early, and I don't think we ended up connecting on anything, but a guy that's continued to get better each and every day, and looking for him to make some plays down the stretch.
You see him as a guy that can really help your game down the field because of his one-on-one ability?
Yeah, absolutely. A tall guy, obviously, with good speed, and goes up and attacks the ball. So definitely a guy you want on the outside that can go up and make those plays downfield.
What did KJ bring to you?
KJ did a great job. Really his first college game, and making some huge plays there in the middle. Kind of stepping into that role that Sterling was in before Sterling moved outside, and he did a great job. I remember one play across the middle, threw it a little high, and he jumped up and snagged it. And it's making big plays like that that keeps him on the field. And a lot like Jeff, he's continued to get better and better each day and making plays, and that's why he's out there on the field.
You guys are so young there. I mean, with guys like Mackay that we know have a lot of talent, Jeffrey, Jordan kind of getting his first playing time. Did you have to say anything special to those guys? You kind of noticed that it's a pretty big moment for them getting out there for the first time like that.
Well, it is a big moment, and it's that first game jitters that they may have been going through, which I can relate to. But they did a good job handling it, and that was big for them to get out there early and get those reps in, so now they can just play. I was talking to Dimitri Flowers after his first couple plays, and he was a little juiced up, and then he had that big pickup on, I think, the fourth down there, and then he came off the field, and he's like, let's go now. It's college football time, which it's cool. It's a cool feeling to get in there and get those first couple plays under your belt and then realize it's just football, let's go play.
Trevor, do you find it's harder to get the ball to Sterling, because I know you want the ball in his hands as much as you can, but with him moved outside?
I don't think it's any harder. I think he's done an excellent job making that transition. It's a lot harder than people would think, moving from inside to outside. Just a completely different game, completely different releases, matched up on corners instead of backers, things like that. But he's done a great job, and we've continued to build that chemistry, starting during the summer and through camp. And hopefully it just continues to get better. We made a couple plays on the outside last night with him, but we can continue to make some more. We missed a few the other night, and that's just something we got to work on, that chemistry, and continue to get better each and every day.
You think that it could help Smallwood and Meade that they're going back to a place where they played a lot of big games in high school already?
Yeah, if I was going home to San Antonio to play, it'd be a cool feeling. So for those guys to get to go up there and kind of play in their hometown, I think it'll be cool for them. I don't know if there'll be nerves there or anything like that, but it'll be a fun time for them for sure.
What about the deflections? Is there anything you can do? Was it a matter of just good defensive plays, or are there things that you can do to find windows better? Or?
Yeah, those three deflections, those could have been huge plays for us, and that's something that we got to correct, especially on my end, just finding a window. Whether it's in the pocket, taking a slight little movement one way or another, or anything like that. But that kind of stuff typically doesn't happen all that often. It ended up happening three or four times, I think, which is unacceptable for me. You got to find a window and make those plays.
We talked a little Saturday night about sliding and kind of protecting yourself. Was that something you did in high school, or were you absorbing a lot of contact in high school?
Yeah, I never slid in high school. Maybe slid one time my whole career in high school. And that's just, transitioning, like I've said before, from being a playmaker to a distributor. And I think I took 2 hits all night the other night, and, that's what we want. I don't want to take a whole bunch of hits, get the ball in those 3 running backs' hands and get it out on the edge. And, those receivers did a great job blocking it up, and we just pitched it out on the bubbles, picked up 10, 11 each one of those bubbles, so it was good for those guys.
think there'll be instances on down and distance situations where you are going to try for that extra yards, are going to absorb contact during the season?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's there, you want to go get it, especially on like a third down or something like that. But last night I think we did a good job, or Saturday night, excuse me, we did a good job of just taking what was there, got down when I needed to, and ended up getting some big fourth down pickups. And that's not always going to happen, but as the game went on, I think it was good for us.
Trevor, the bubbles kind of went away last year. How much have you guys worked on that spring off season to get that back?
We've worked on it a lot. We throw bubbles every single day, and that's just an extension of the run game. It's counting numbers in the box and everything like that, and then when the defense gives it to you, pitch it out there. It's an extension of the run game, and those guys on the outside, like I said, did a great job blocking it up and picked up a bunch of yards on it.
What do you expect out of Tulsa's defense?
They're a solid defense. They don't do a whole lot conceptually, but they do what they do, and they do it well. So excited to go up there. I didn't get to play against them last year. I was sick that game and banged up a little bit. So excited to get my first game against Tulsa and go up there to their place and have a good game.
Trevor, what have you seen through workouts from your backs in catching the football? They were outstanding the other night, surprisingly good in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Did it surprise you any, or have you seen that?
It didn't. We work on that a lot. We do a deal during the summer where we'll have our routes on air with our receivers and everything, and then hold the running backs after and throw some routes with them. So they've been working on it, but that's a testament to those guys just being great athletes, being all-around guys. I mean, you even see Keith Ford out there lining up as a receiver and catching that ball down the seam there. And so it's just guys being multiple. They can run in between the tackles, they can get out on the edge, and they can catch the football.
How did those guys do away from the football, pass protection?
They did good. Coach Gundy's done a great job of working those guys and knowing their pass protection stuff. And they did a great job all night. Like I said, I only got hit twice, and it was, quick game stuff, run game stuff. And so they did a great job.
Does Samaje got pretty good hands, too?
Samaje does, yeah. All three of those guys can catch the ball, and that's why we get them out there on the edge and pitch the bubbles out there so they can, get a full head of steam downhill.
Do you have a favorite play from Saturday night or two? Whether it's yours or somebody else?
Favorite play. I really enjoyed watching KJ go make that play down the middle. I think that was kind of his opening. It was not a very good ball, but he went up and made that huge third down pickup there. And then a couple of the flood routes, the out routes on the outside that he made. I think one of them was on a fourth down, and that's just big plays for him. It builds confidence in his eyes, and just it builds chemistry between us as well. So,
Thoughts on Sterling's back of the end zone catch?
I put that out there a little too far. Took the wrong drop and just put it out there a little too far. But he made a heck of a play, and I think if they would have called it the other way, it may have stood. I don't know, but it was a great play nonetheless.
You weren't far off on that one, and you were pretty close on the one you tried to Deron in the other corner. You feel like you're starting to show that your deep ball is more consistent now? Yeah,
absolutely. We're, like I said, we're not far off. We missed a few that I wish I could have back, including the batted balls, but we're not far off from having a really special night.
I don't know how much you've watched of them so far, but their safeties, Coach Blankenship says, are some of the two best in college football as a tandem, number 1 and number 20. Do they stand out to you when you see them play?
Yeah, great players. We're definitely going to have to, take note of them on the back end, and we're just going to have to play our game and take what they give us. But they are definitely really good players, and looking forward to the opportunity to play against them.
You guys had a bunch of fourth down conversion attempts, converted most of them. Sorry. What does that do for the offense when Coach kind of lets you roll with it like that?
Yeah, I think we converted 3 or 4 of them. I think we converted all of them, which is huge. And that's, appreciate Coach Stoops for giving us that opportunity, having that confidence in us to go pick those up. And, guys making plays. Like I said, KJ making the play on the outside, and then, the guys up front, creating a hole for those guys to punch it up in there on those fourth and shorts. So, Coach Stoops giving us an opportunity and us just executing.
How did you approach this game just mentally compared to last year after having success at the end of the year and knowing that a lot of people are heaping a lot of praise on you, a lot of hype kind of going into a new year? What was that like for you?
I was trying to be less nervous. Any football game you play, you got those butterflies, and I don't want to say nerves because I enjoy playing the game, but it comes with it. There's always butterflies, but I felt like I was real calm before the game. It allowed everybody to see that. All the guys around me just kind of fed off of that, and tried to keep the young guys really calm as well, and then just went out there and played with confidence. I'd been there before, I'd done it before. It wasn't like last year where I had never done it before, and so just went out there and tried to have fun.
What was your routine like the night before? I mean, did you spend time with family, friends?
No, we go over to the hotel, and we get our own rooms over there, and I go in and review my game plan and watch a little college football, relax, and same pregame that I've always done. It's just about a mindset going into it, just being more confident, and I think that first drive kind of set the tone as well. Just going out there and punching them in the mouth and getting a score early was big for us.
I mean, you get off the bus, you have the big walk thing. I know you had a lot of people yelling at you, and I think you hugged someone as you were coming in. Does that kind of set a different tone?
I think the walk deal was pretty cool. For the first time, we were kind of hesitant on whether a bunch of people were going to show up or not, and I think our fans did a great job of showing up, and that was a cool deal to be a part of the first one. And I met up with my family there and got to pray with them for a second, and met up with my college pastor there at the end, said a quick prayer with him. So it was a cool little deal walking in and maybe starting a new little routine to start the game off.
Why do you think you guys started so fast and so efficient?
I think that's just what we've been preparing to do. That's how we want to start. We want to start fast, and we've been preparing for that, all the way through camp, and really making an emphasis on that, to come out and just punch them in the mouth, and run the ball, throw the ball, get it out on the edge, and just make plays. And I think our guys did a good job of having that energy and having that intensity from the get-go.
Does part of that come from the carryover of the off season and the Sugar Bowl even, and the work that you guys have done? You get out there into the game, and it's like you haven't missed a beat or whatever.
Yeah, I hope that's the way it is, that we just continue on from where we left off there. And it felt good on that first drive. It felt like we'd been doing it all season. And so hopefully we continue to play like that from the get-go each game. It's not always going to be that way, but that's how we want to start.
Trevor, did you play the fourth quarter differently, more cautiously? I mean, the game was in hand. You had to play because of Cody's injury, Baker's status, and if the same thing happens in the near future, will you play the final minutes of a game differently, more cautiously or anything?
No, I go out there and just execute the plays that are called. Have faith in Coach Hype to call what he's going to call, and just take what the defense gives us. Obviously, it's a whole game type deal of trying to get down and not take those hits. So I'm not going to play any differently in the fourth quarter, whether we're up or whether we're not. And I think we made a huge emphasis on that the other night of finishing the fourth quarter. We were up huge, but it's kind of like a practice. How are we going to finish these games? Because there's going to be a time this season where we're going to have to play well in the fourth quarter and finish the game strong.
Okay. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.